today I wanted to talk to you about this musical that I went to see on Monday and yesterday. So literally twice in a week. That's how much I really enjoyed it. It's The Woman in White. It's on at the Charing Cross Theatre at the moment. The Woman in White is a musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber and the lyrics are by David Zippel and the book is by Charlotte Jones and it's freely adapted from the novel by Wilkie Collins. It was first produced as a workshop at Webber's Sidmonton Festival in July 2003 and then it opened in the West End in September 2004 at the Palace Theatre. It received mixed reviews, above all because of the set design, which was by William Dudley, because he wanted it to be only projections on walls and it was very new at the time and I think the audience was just not ready for that kind of set, even more when it's set in a Victorian era and you kind of expect beautiful sets and stuff and you end up just seeing projections on walls and I think it was just a bit too new at the time, too innovative. The original cast included Michael Crawford and then later Steve Varnum took his place and then Michael Ball. The second version, as it was called, opened in 2005 with a completely new cast, although some members of the ensemble remained from the first cast. It starred Ruthie Henschel and Alexandra Silber. It then opened on Broadway with a shortened version and an improved scenery. It ran for 109 performances and 20 previews, so it's one of Webber's shortest running shows. The show of The Woman in White starts with a young man called Walter Hartwright, who is a drawing teacher and has been appointed to the Limerick house to be their drawing teacher. So when he arrives, there's been a problem on the train line. He meets the signal officer who tells him he's had a premonition that a year from now, a young man will be killed on the tracks. It's like, welcome to Limerick Estate. Then he meets a woman dressed in white who tells him she has a secret that she cannot tell. She's trying to see if she can trust him or not. And then she runs away, scared. Then he arrives at Limerick House and Marianne welcomes him. She's one of the leads in the show and she's Laura's half-sister, Laura being the one who owns the estate after her father died a few years ago. Walter falls in love with Laura, Laura falls in love with Walter, but Marianne also falls in love with Walter, but she sees it's never gonna happen between her and Walter, although she warns him about the fact that Laura is already engaged. When Walter asks her who she's engaged to, he discovers that it is the same person who's doing harm to the woman in white. The show will just tell what happened to the woman in white, why Sir Percival Glyde is her tormentor, what will happen to Laura after her wedding to him. It's just a very intense story, extremely intense, but I love the fact that 3 of the leads in the show are women. It's very rare. For the cast that I saw, the woman in white was played by Sophie Reeves, who has already been in so many things and she's literally graduated from GSA in 2016. And she's literally been in so many things. She's been in Les Mis at the Queen's Theatre. She's done Candide with the London Musical Theatre Orchestra. She was in the Olivier Awards in concert, Sam Bailey Live in the West End, The Witch and Into the Woods. She's been in Company. She's basically done so much and she's just graduated less than 2 years ago. And she was incredible. Her voice is insane, so intense, and I think she portrays the character incredibly well. Laura was played by Anna Oban, who is one of my idols, and when I went to see it on Monday I had no idea who was in the cast. It's basically some friends of mine recommended it, we went there together. I didn't know she was in the cast and I had discovered her a few years ago in Love Never Dies, the DVD, and when she appeared on stage I was like, no, it can't be her, it can't be, and it was. And I literally just fangirled for a little while. I was like, oh my god, she's so amazing! I went to congratulate her at the end and told her she was one of the reasons why I'm studying musical theatre now. She was very touched and yeah, it was just very cute. Her technique is flawless, incredible, beautiful. I wasn't sure if she was able to belt, but I can tell you after watching that show twice, she can. Because I've seen her in Love Never Dies, which is more of a legit place, as well as the Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, I just didn't know that she could belt, and she definitely can. She portrays that character beautifully. She gives her that vulnerability that's so touching and moving. Now let's talk about the girl who played Marianne. Her name is Carolyn Maitland. Her portrayal was incredibly strong, and she's so generous in her acting. I was blown away by everyone, but that part is just intense and insane. She did it beautifully and with so much generosity. All the characters, all the cast was great and brilliant. And the guy who played Sir Percival Glyde, I don't know how he manages to play such a messed up character every night, but he portrays it so well. It was so good. The whole cast was so good. The guy who played Count Fosco, when he does his solo song in the second act, and he just plays with his voice in that song, and it's just so technically perfect that I was blown away again. The set has completely been redone. It's now an actual set and no more projections, and it's very cleverly done. Even though I don't think it's one of Andrew Lloyd Webber's best shows, I still think it's a beautiful show. It portrays how hard it was for women at the time to have their own place in society, and what obscure things were happening to them as well. So yes, it's still running until the 10th of February. I would definitely recommend seeing it because it's a beautiful piece of theatre. And yes, I leave a link to an extract of a song from the musical sung by Anna O'Byrne and Ashley Stillburn, which is just beautiful as well. If there is one thing I would say I was kind of cringing about in that show, is when they fall in love, it lasts a while. But apart from that, I think it's a brilliantly built show and a great piece of theatre. So yeah, go and get your ticket because it's nearly over. And I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all very soon. Mwah.